Hello, my name is Tony Hograve, and I am a Northern Michigan landscape photographer. I am primarily a Northern Michigan landscape photographer. Welcome to my digital darkroom. This is a brand new channel. Today is November 1st, 2023, and I just wanted to jump on here and make a briefish video to introduce myself, tell you a little bit about who I am and what I intend to do with this channel. I am a United States Marine. I served in the Marine Corps from 1993 till 2003. I am a veteran of Somalia as well as Iraq. When the Marine Corps put me out to pasture in 2003, I had to figure out what I wanted to be when I grew up. Started college straight away in 2004 and bounced around to a couple of different things, eventually landing in photography. The woman that I was dating at the time was a hobbyist photographer. I didn't really have that much interest in it, but the college was offering a introduction to photography course on Tuesday and Thursday nights. And I thought, hey, this would be a good thing for us to do together on Tuesday and Thursday nights. And the decision was absolutely transformative to my life. I fell in love with it. I fell in love with the math, and I fell in love with the science of photography straight away. So much that I changed majors. What I didn't realize at the time was that photography turned out to be a very therapeutic behavior for me. I brought home a lot of baggage and demons from Iraq that I didn't even realize were in my baggage. The act of creating in photography allowed me to express in a photograph the things that I couldn't say out of my mouth. I had such a hard time communicating with people, but I was able to put it into a photograph. They didn't necessarily understand what I was trying to say. Sometimes they did, sometimes they didn't, but it didn't matter because I was able to express it, and it was really a pressure release valve for me. And I didn't even realize at the time. It's only the gift of hindsight that I can say that today. In 2009, when I left college, I relocated back to Northern Michigan to be closer to my son. At that time, he was 15 years old, about to turn 16, and I really wanted to be closer to him because, you know, he wasn't going to be a kid for that much longer, and I wanted to be there. Once I got back to Northern Michigan, I opened up a portrait studio, and for that first year, things went great. You know, had a lot of business coming and going, a lot of repeat business, and I ate well. Unfortunately, I don't really want to say unfortunately, I think I just took the wrong approach with it. The work that I was getting in my portrait studio wasn't necessarily the work that I wanted. Paid well, but it was really kind of a production line, cookie cutter type of photography. I was doing a lot of the same things over and over because that's what the clients were asking for. I enjoyed child portraiture. I enjoyed the senior portraits, hate weddings, but it wasn't anything really groundbreaking, and I was getting bored with it. Had I taken the approach of do the client work, and then when you're done shooting for the client for the day, do your own creative stuff, I probably would have had an entirely different experience, but I didn't have the presence of mind at the time to do that. So without that creative pressure release valve, the issues that I was having, that I brought home with me from Iraq, were taking center stage. And they were overwhelming who I was as a person, and it made it really difficult for me to connect with my clients. And it made it difficult for me to make connections with new clients, and the business dried up. By the end of 2012, I closed my studio. The business wasn't there, and I didn't have it in me to push forward with it anymore. It wouldn't be until 2014, 2015 that somebody pointed at me and said, "You have PTSD," which I just thought I was a monster and an asshole in general. I really had no idea what was going on with me. So I was finally actually diagnosed in 2016 with post-traumatic stress disorder, and started working on getting some actual honest-to-goodness help. In 2018, I checked myself into a residential PTSD recovery program. I said residential, not inpatient. I was not locked in the booby hatch. And that program was another one of those best decisions you could have made situations, because it really gave me a lot of the tools that I need to manage the PTSD symptoms and to be able to connect to the world around me. It's not the end-all be-all. It's not a universal fix. I'm not cured. But I have the tools to manage my own problems. I don't need people to walk on eggshells around me. I'm not flinching at fireworks. I manage it pretty well. And to be perfectly honest, from 2018 till now, my life has actually been pretty good. But over the last couple of years, I start feeling those difficulties. And what was missing was that creative pressure release valve. I used to get it from, riding my motorcycle, enjoying the camaraderie with, other veterans. But I was missing that creative outlet. And the camera started calling me again. And I finally listened up and picked the camera back up. And in the last year, I have really kind of buried myself back in it. Not quite year, probably this lion's share of this summer up to now. And I don't want to look back from that. I'm enjoying it. I've rediscovered that passion. Which brings me to, the whole point. What am I going to do with this channel? Because I don't want to go back to being a portrait photographer, because I still have those connecting with people issues that I had before, and it's not the path I want to take. I will do portraiture because I love it. I really genuinely do. I love portraiture. I am at heart, and probably always will be, a portrait photographer, but I am also exploring these other genres that are holding my interest. So I'm in this weird position where I'm not a beginner. I'm a collegiately trained photographer. I know and understand the equipment, but I'm coming back in after a significant break. One, the technology has just advanced leaps and bounds, so I'm having fun exploring all the new updates and changes in the technology. But I'm also learning about new and interesting techniques. Something that used to take 9 or 10 or 12 steps before, now with this new way of doing things, well, you can accomplish it in just a matter of minutes, or 3 or 4 steps. I'm really enjoying landscape photography. I love the big, wide, sweeping vistas that run from horizon to horizon and have everything from foreground to background intact, sharp, razor sharp focus. I really enjoy long exposure photography, where you can just take this absolutely chaotic scene and just through the use of time turn it into something that is surreal and serene. I mean, I really like that, you know, making serenity from chaos. But there's other genres that I want to explore. And that's really kind of what I'm going to do with this channel. So if you're somebody that used to be a photographer and you're thinking about picking up the camera, well, you might be somebody that wants to hit that like and subscribe button, especially the subscribe button. I'd appreciate it if you did, because maybe we can inspire one another. But primarily, the only viewer I'm interested in is me. This is myself documenting what I'm doing so I can look back and see that path. Because honestly, I'm at the point where I'm trying to rediscover my own style. I am trying to, well, I don't want to say do it all, but I certainly want to touch it all and find out what I like and figure out what path I'm going to take. So if you've reached the end of this video and you're still babbling along with me, or listening to me babble along, I must be interesting enough for you to reach down and hit that subscribe button and follow along. I will be, or my intention is to produce at least one video a week. And that is going to obligate me to get up out of this chair and get out and create something. Create something so that I'll actually have something to share with y'all. I'm going to share my triumphs as well as my failures. One thing that I see with a lot of YouTube photographers is that they only share their triumphs. You know, you never see a lot of failures out of them. And I know from personal experience that they have them. You know, and it may, from a business aspect or business point of view, it makes absolutely perfect sense that you only show your triumphs, because you always want to put your best foot forward. But I am going to show my failures, because I don't view them as failures. I view them as opportunities for greater understanding and the gaining of wisdom. You know, if I set out to do something and it doesn't work, I can analyze why didn't it work. If it was this thing, and this thing that didn't work, and I can control those things, well, I can turn that failure into success. If one of those reasons why I didn't succeed is something that's out of my control, well, I can recognize that and I can figure out a workaround. Because a significant part of photography is problem solving. But yeah, thanks for watching, and I'll see you soon.